Okay. I am in full hobo mode, so please bear with me. Oh, goodness gracious, There we go. Get this guy opened up and maximized, and that looks good. And that looks good. Okay, I am so sorry for running a little bit late there. It has been quite the day. Alrighty. So let's see here. Make sure that's good. Make sure y'all don't hear that. Y'all don't. Okay, that looks good. Okay, close off the Google stuff. Open up the private browser. Alrighty. Hi, how you doing? How you be? Top to the AB, and oh my goodness, it has been quite the weekend. Eagles lost, so that was a thing, but over a technicality, which okay, whatever. I guess I can say whatever because I'm a Dallas fan, but yeah, that was kind of an interesting call, but neither here nor there. I guess Kansas City Chiefs have won another championship, and congrats to them, I guess. But on to tech stuff and helping people. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on today. We have a few issues going on today. We have a full schedule, so I don't know how long this will take. So it'll probably end up taking around 9 something, but we'll see how it goes. We kind of play it by ear, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. If those of you who aren't aware, we essentially troubleshoot video game issues, tech issues, PC issues, any issues that people have with their computers or video games. So it's not necessarily gaming, but we troubleshoot gaming. So it's that. So basically we can go into games or we can troubleshoot any game a person is having and go into it and troubleshoot it live. So that's kind of what we do that way. If you want to learn something from it, or if you have situations where you run into an issue that you can also help, the person that's also having that problem, then you can just let me know in chat if you have any questions and we will get started. All right, let's switch to work here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so first topic I saw was an ad. Okay, so basically, Hogwarts Legacy trick fixes PC stuttering problem and low FPS dips. It appears that Hogwarts Legacy is having some issues on PC, which is interesting because I downloaded it on PC, which is this one, I think. Yeah, this one. Steam. Yeah, Steam. Yeah, so Hogwarts Legacy. I actually just downloaded it on Steam, and it appears that Steam is the one that's actually having issues. I wonder if there's discussions about it while it's on my mind. Apparently it is. I actually forgot that we can actually go to Steam now and look at oh wow, okay. It appears that we can now go to Steam and actually troubleshoot issues on Steam. Okay, how is your experience right now? I am begging for okay. Is there a good what? If there is a God, he will help me play this game. Oh, okay. I spent 6+ hours sitting at my computer trying to make this work. At first, it was loaded to the epilepsy warning, but no further. So I searched for a solution. I verified files, reinstalled the game, and just once was able to get it to load far enough to view Hogwarts Invitation, upon which it crashed immediately. I have uninstalled and installed numerous graphics drivers, turned off every possible overlay I could, and even had a Microsoft agent share my screen so she could help me completely reset Windows 10. Jesus Christ. After waiting 2 or more hours for that install, I am still left with a game that stays on the epilepsy warning for 5 minutes just to crash again. This is a cry for help. Right, and through the client, come back with the results. Refund game specs. Game is hard, 6 out of 10. Dang. I tried using AMD Ryzen. Okay, but keep having the same thing. I think you need a graphics card update. Not sure about your CPU. Okay, well, let's try this. So we're okay. Let's see. Let's go back to it. I didn't know this was here. I just ran into it randomly while we were looking at the game. But let's actually play this and see if we get the same problem. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was muted. Otherwise, you're gonna be hearing it twice. Because it's like literally in the next room. Hmm? Okay. Oh, it even tells you right here. A small percentage of individuals may experience epileptic seizures. Oh, that's the seizure sign she was talking about. Okay, gotcha. Um, okay. Okay. So when we try, ours gets right past it. So so that was a seizure sign, but theirs crashes right after. So where it goes to the preparing shaders for us, theirs crashes. So let's think about that. So if it crashes immediately, that means that it's unable to prepare shaders because that's the next screen. So if that's the case, then yeah, they're right about that. That's going to be more than likely a driver issue. So if we can we go back? No, we can't. Can we click on no? Can we alt tab? We can alt tab. All right. So if we go back here, Hogwarts Legacy. Um, anyone having an issue using a controller, please vote just yes or no for multiplayer. Any way to sell blah 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 blah. Game not responding. Mediocre blah blah blah. Game not responding. I agree to the terms of service. My game just goes on not responding and freezes. Multiverses, so maybe try that and play with a different. Appreciate you, bro. Just fact, reset my PC. I'm praying it works. Oh wow, so a lot of people are just straight up resetting their PC whenever this happens, which is kind of that's a bit much. That's a bit much for something like that. But there's so many replies that it's hard for me to get an idea. RPG, okay, that's just people complaining. On a memory link. Oh wow, it's so many topics. I'm already the one that I just looked at is already good lord. Um, wow. Okay, stuttering issue fixed. Okay. Game ran 99% RAM and now chills around 20 gigs of RAM and runs without stutter. Would upgrading RAM make a large difference in other games are considering doing the same? Legacy 16 gigs versus 32 gigs. What? Notice how the 16 gig stutters and the 32 gig doesn't. No, it doesn't. It improves, yes, but the stutters are there all the time. 32 gigs if you're in 4K. If you're in 1080p, RAM usage never hit 16. I've been playing 20 hours now in 1080p, ultra high, ultra settings mix, and my total RAM usage is on an average of 12 to 13 gigs on some occasions. It gets to 15 briefly, but majority of the time, chart shows 12 to 13. 1440p users also reported only a minor bump in RAM usage, making 16 gigs still doable, but far closer to the max line where additional harsher stutter can still occur. It's only once you go to 4K where the game will chew up and spit out 20 gigs plus, making 16 gigs unusable if you're at that resolution. Okay, challenge accepted. Stutters either way will still be present, at least at a minor level, because the current micro stutter everyone gets is related to either way the game streams and assets for some new areas or the pre-shader compiling doesn't do its job to the fullest. Yeah, it definitely sounded more like a manufacturer issue or a company issue than it does sound like anything else. This is not a memory leak. It was simply a low memory, slow paging access problem. Running 1440p. How much memory does this guy have? Task manager. More details. Performance. This guy has 32. Okay. Well, let's find out. I wonder. Okay, before we do that, what is it called? Uh, Afterburner. Oh God, you don't have Afterburner on this. Oh, Anthony, come on, get it together, man. Huh. Okay, so settings. Okay, so we're at 3200 by 1800, which is why it's a small screen. Let's try to go to 4K. And let's see if I can have it show me. Let's see. Depth of field. Sorry, you can't hear the sound because I have the sound muted coming in through here. Let me see if I can turn it on real quick. Audio quality. No, I think I have to turn it on from the other side. So I apologize. It's normal. Normally, I wouldn't have to do it this way. It's just that on this computer, the one that actually would play the sound, this guy doesn't have the game installed. I didn't know that I would need this. Okay, effects, quality, graphics options, run benchmark. Oh, here we go. Uh-huh. Pre-default, after which the graphical settings will be pre-selected for you. This will run an automatic hardware analysis of your machine. Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to do that. Stop. The hardware analysis and the appropriate graphical settings have been selected. Would you like to apply them now? No. That's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to find no. Escape. And you gotta press escape a lot. Okay. Discard changes. There we go. If we go to okay, I think this may be one of those situations where we would need to have there's more. No, it's not. Okay, so yeah, we would have to have some type of MSI afterburn in order to see it. But while it's actually running, even from here, let's see where our memory is. Task manager. Okay, so they're not lying. All right, so it's hovering around 10, and that's at the startup screen. So it hasn't even gotten into anything crazy. So at the startup screen, this bad boy is sitting at 10 gigs. So that means that if you're actually playing a game, it's going to be anywhere between 10 and like 15 gigs. So maybe that's what's causing their stuttering problem. So this guy has 32 gigs. So yeah, 63% of memory use. Wow, why would it show 63%? Oh God. So it's at 20 gigs total of 32. What else is okay? So one is my fault. Okay, I'm using a little bit of it, but I'm guessing it's just adding all of this up together. But Hogwarts, oh my God, it's just straight 10 gigs or more. So wow. Okay. So it appears that the stuttering is caused by a memory utilization issue. And most people that are not having the problem are running at 32 gigs or lesser settings. So I'll be sure after this stream that we go ahead and make a video so that people understand exactly what's going on with it, and then we kind of go from there. But that's actually good information. So we'll go ahead and move back. Okay, let's see here. All right. Something is going on with my Twitch. So give me 1 second here and let me check something real quick. Alrighty. What? You gray? Okay, here we'll try this. And then we'll go like this, and then we'll go like this. Actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Do this, and then go here. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I didn't think that this would trip out like this, but apparently it does. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. This is going crazy on me. Is this muted? Yes, it is. All right, bet. All right, so that's that. And then let me try fixing this one. Apparently this one is broke as well. Do that, and then do that. Okay. That's not working. Okay, hold on. What's going on here? Sorry, just give me 1 second here. Having some technical difficulties. Here, let me just close the screen, and then reopen the screen, and then refresh, and then go here, and then go here. Okay, let's try that. See if that works here, and then do that. And then come here and check that. What is going on? I don't know what's going on. This is so cray. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just continue on. Sorry, it's taking too long. So yeah, so tricks to fix the PC issue. So they had some tips and tricks, but they didn't really say anything. Less than ideal state. The fix has been a boon for many fans frustrated over Hogwarts PC port. They purchased a deluxe version. Reviews are largely positive. That is not to say that the game is extremely free from problems. A post on Reddit has ailed many players' performance woes in the PC version of the game, with frame rates dipping into the single digits during certain sections of the game. PC performance tips. I know everyone is fed up with about hearing supposed fix to the stuttering and low FPS issue, but these three actually work for me on a 5600X and the 3070. Before I did this, I was getting 20 FPS. Enable hardware acceleration GPU scheduling. I had turned this off because it caused another issue in the game. I can't remember which one. Windows search for GPU to find the setting. A restart is required. Enable hardware acceleration GPU scheduling. Navigate to Hogwarts save, blah, 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 and backup engine.ini and the following to the bottom line and save it. Okay. This only applies to NVIDIA users. Set the shader caching to 10 gigs in the NVIDIA control panel. Global 3D settings. Wow, I posted just before bed and super glad to hear it's working for other people as well. I knew it wasn't placebo and the game definitely still needs some optimization patches, but at least it's actually playable now. I forgot to mention, if you have a GPU with more than 8 gigs of RAM, you can change the pool size from 3072 to 4096. This should help even further. Below are the recommended values, pool size, depending on your memory. Okay. It seems like the engine, okay. So comments on the Reddit post hailed the fix as a near miraculous, with some users claiming to have tried many other post fix to no avail. The Reddit user posts tips to repair a bottleneck in the gaming GPU usage. Okay, so there's this, and then there is the other issue with the crashing. It appears that it's using, or stuttering. It appears that it's using quite a bit of memory and also GPU memory as well, it appears. So it's the whole issue is centered around memory, but it's two parts. It's actual RAM and its CPU memory. So that appears to be what's going on there. Alrighty, so we'll take a look at this a little bit later. But this is a good information. We'll pick this back up a little bit later here. So let's make sure that's working. Okay, cool. That looks good. All right, so let's move on here. So this is going to be AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D and 7950X3D won't be faster than the 7800X3D in most games. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Team Red will roll out the 3 new SKUs leveraging their 3D cache, including the 7800X3D, 900 and 7950X3D. Sadly, the dual CCD chips won't get dedicated cache dies for each chiplet. As a result, all 3 V-cache CPUs will feature the same 3D stacked L3 cache die. With the same amount of SC RAM, this harkens to the Zen 1 launch, which the disaggregated or chiplet architecture was first introduced. Several applications face lag and stutters on account of the high cache latency. The dual CCX design of the Ryzen 1000 CPUs led to unconventional high latency and workloads that weren't specifically optimized for them. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm not about to read all that. But as many of our own members of this forum made the same criticisms, according to Tom's Hardware, AMD is working with Microsoft and base optimizations that will work in combination with a new AMD chipset driver that will also assist with this. So yeah, it appears that there may not be, okay, well, to be fair, I didn't think that having the X3D would make that much difference in games between the 7900 X3D, 7950 X3D, and 7800 X3D. I thought they were all going to be relatively similar if we're talking about a game that actually has a GPU. Now, if I believe the 7950 X3D would actually come with RDNA. So if we're talking about, like running off the CPU, that may be a little bit different. But yeah, I'm not too shocked at this. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and move on and start helping other people. But this Hogwarts Legacy one is kind of interesting. I'll probably read over this and come back to it and make a video about it so that can help others. But I didn't know Hogwarts Legacy was popping off like this. Like I downloaded it. So like I downloaded the game and then I started like the very beginning and then fell asleep. That's exactly what happened. I literally downloaded it and it started and I picked my character. It took so long to find the character because they had like a million optimization or character optimizations. And then once I picked my character, I literally fell asleep, and I did not go back to the game. I ended up playing Genshin Impact. So yeah, that was my life. But I was like, man, this is gonna take too long for me to get invested. So yeah, that's how I've been feeling about Hogwarts lately. But let's go ahead and start helping people here. So we have a lot of repeats from, or just things that happened over the weekend. Well, maybe not over the weekend, but maybe on Friday. But we'll take a look at it. Okay, so this is a new one here. So this is from used one 5252 GPU stand support bracket. Hi, I just purchased a GPU stand support bracket that prevents sagging for my 3080 Ti for the win. Now the question is, should leave some room between the GPU and the bracket or make it tight? This is the standing bracket I purchased. Glow Trans graphic GPU brace support on Amazon. Well, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, well, that's pretty sweet. Well, I would say read the instructions. It's silhouette, blah blah blah, movable buckle compatible, blah blah blah. Toolless design, bottom concealed. Can the magnet be removed? Will the magnet bottom damage any components on the machine? Let's see pictures. Okay, well, all right, I got you. Well, it shouldn't be so tight that it's pushing the GPU in the opposite direction, as long as it's level, it should be fine. I mean, just looking at it, it doesn't look like it's going to do anything that would hurt a GPU, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. I'll be more worried about the magnetism of the bottom base to make sure that it doesn't actually, sit on a power supply or something crazy. But yeah, outside of that, I think it's fine. It doesn't look like there's any problems with it. So yeah, congrats. I mean, it should be fine. Alrighty. PC acting funny on startup. Okay. Here's the process of how it goes. I turn on my PC, turns on as normal. I sign in immediately. Once I'm at my desktop, my PC is stuttering. This includes my mouse audio. When I play games, I get crazy FPS drops. When I start to fix this problem, I get stuck on a page where my motherboard logo shows along with spinning loading signs. This never stops. I eventually unplug and plug back in up until I get a page where it says automatic repair failed. After a few tries, my problem is fixed. This happens every time you use my PC. Any help? I eventually unplug and plug back in up until I get to a page that says automatic repair failed. Stuck on the page where my motherboard logo shows. My motherboard logo shows along with a spinning loading sign. What? I get stuck on a page where my motherboard's logo shows, which is, right before the BIOS, along with a spinning loading sign. Okay, I'm guessing he's just talking about the Windows logo. This never stops. I eventually unplug and plug back in up until I get to a page where it says automatic repair failed. After a few tries, the problem is fixed. This happens every time I use my PC. Any help? Well, originally, it sounded like you may have had a memory issue. Do you have a XMP profile turned on? If so, turn it off to see if it makes a difference. As for the spinning loading screen, could you take a picture of what you are referring to when you see the automatic repair failed? I'm thinking that he's talking about when he has all the Windows options, and one of the options is continue to Windows. There's a few options there. That's what I'm thinking he's talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. When you see the automatic repair failed. As for the spinning loading screen, could you take pictures of what you're referring to when you see the automatic repair failed? Okay, we'll just go with that. Just a little probing questions and see exactly what's going on here. But yeah, it sounded originally when he started talking about it, it sounded more like a memory issue than anything, and the stuttering and all that kind of stuff. Basically, it sounded exactly like that Hogwarts issue where people were talking about issues with the game stuttering and things of that nature. But Hogwarts eating up 10 gigs of RAM is cray cray. So yeah, if you have 16 gigs, yeah, it can be a problem, especially if you have 8. If you have 8, you got a real bad time, especially at 4K. So you're gonna have to dial down the settings, but that's neither here nor there. So with this one here, that's all I would say for it. To turn off the XMP profile to see if that makes a difference. But the second part is the automatic repair failed. I need to see exactly what he's referring to before I make a conclusion on this one. So yeah, dear organization, give us some more information on this one so we can help you a little bit better there. The right number of USB ports. Yes, this is 100% the right number of USB ports. I need all of these. This is what, 6, 12, 18, 24, 32. Okay, for one, this isn't enough. Okay. Secondly, there's not any red ones, so there's no USB 3.2 Type 2. So I would rather have some of those because I think those are 10 gigabits per second as opposed to 5 gigabits per second. But you know, a USB 2 USB 2 3 gigabits per second is a bit too slow for me. I need either USB-C or USB 3.2 Type 2 or USB 3 Type 1. But this is way too many USB 3 Type 1s. I need some Type 2s on this. But I understand this motherboard probably can handle it anyway. It'll probably explode when you have that many USB ports on it. So I don't even know nothing funny to say about this. Pretty sure if you plug in one, it would probably I forgot the name of the error. I'm not gonna say it. It's not that funny. I'll let it go. I'll just take everybody else's joke. You joke, but that is exactly what we do. 10 port hubs into each port that allows us to test 300 devices on one desktop. Yeah, Jesus, that's a lot, but still pretty sweet. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next one then. Alrighty, my controller suddenly stops working thanks to Steam. I can play any other game which is not involved with Steam, but as soon as I connect it to play Steam, game. Okay, what? I can. Okay, first off, let me click on this image here. Oh, it's a whole video. Okay. Hold on, let me grab a headset. Oh, there is no sound. Okay. I don't get it. What is he showing us? I can play any other game which is not involved with Steam, but as soon as I connect it to play Steam, games work for a few seconds until the Steam driver kicks in. My controller now skips songs, and the home button makes Steam Big Picture launch. Oh, yeah. I know this, but in the game, buttons are like they don't exist. If I launch the game after using Steam, I cannot play. The solution is to restart the device. Any ideas? Okay, well, in the picture, it looked like you were using a PlayStation controller. Yes. In the pictures, or in the video, it looked like you were using a PlayStation controller. So for that, you want to go to Steam settings. Let's see, AMD. This guy's already open, so we'll go with this one. AMD, and we'll go to Steam settings. Steam settings. And then the reason why I'm not showing it because when you go to Steam settings, the first page is your information. So Steam settings, and then from Steam settings, you want to go down to controller and then general controller settings. So you want to go to controller and then general controller settings. So controller, general controller settings. And once you are here, right there, general controller settings, and we want to turn off the PlayStation configuration support. I don't have a PlayStation controller hooked up. Then turn off PlayStation configuration support to see if it makes a difference. There we go. Alrighty, cool. So let me get something to drink here. Okay. So that's what I would say for that one here. I would say to turn off the PlayStation configuration and then go from there. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Group 2. Alrighty, so my PC won't start. My PC worked fine last night. Today it won't start. It automatically fails and reboots, does this twice, then starts, but nothing comes up on the display. PC worked fine last night. Today it won't start. It automatically fails and reboots, does this twice, then starts, but nothing comes up on the display. Okay. 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 Could you let us know your system specs? Also, when you mention the PC comes on but there is no display, do you mean the lights/fans stay on? Lights/fans stay on? Actually, no, that's corny. Let's not do that. So what we'll say is, could you try to plug in a different input or plug in a different cable into the monitor, or try a different input to see if that makes a difference? I.e., if it was HDMI, try display, and vice versa. There we go. So we at least try to start adjusting, addressing the situation. Essentially, trying a different cable or something along those lines. It seems like you may have had a graphics issue, but it's kind of hard to say without having the specs, because obviously if we had the specs, we would know that we might be able to bypass the GPU. If you have, for example, a 5600G, we just don't know. So because of that, we can't actually give you any kind of recommendations as to what to do here. You know, we would have to at least see the specs in order to give you a better recommendation, but we can start with basically trying to use a different cable or a different input and then kind of going from there. But yes, it can be several different things here. So just let us know, little Apple, what you find out. Like, what's your name? My name, little Tay Tay, little Apple. Keep us posted. Alrighty, so this is from One Punch. Sea of Thieves not downloading. I have Game Pass Ultimate on my Xbox Series X, and I had Sea of Thieves installed a while back, but uninstalled it. I've been trying to install it again for the past almost year and a half, and it won't install. All Game Pass games I try to install do it with no problem, but Sea of Thieves starts installing, and when I check in the morning, it's just gone. It's like I didn't even try to install it, even though I was installing it the night before. This only happens with Sea of Thieves and no other games. Okay, wasn't I trying to install Sea of Thieves for another person or somebody else having an issue? I feel like I've tried to install Sea of Thieves, but I guess we can find out. So, Sea of Thieves, right? Pretty sure we tried Sea. There we go. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, well, there's not a whole lot of options here. Add to play later, share. All right, install. That's all there is to it. Pretty sure I pressed the right button. View and queue. Okay. All right, so that's going to take a little bit, or not. Oh, no, no, it's 77 gigs. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. So yeah, we'll maybe come back to it just to make sure that it installed properly. But it's taking ours a while as well, and I have pretty quick internet, so we'll see. For it to say 4 hours, that's kind of sad. It should not take that long for that. But okay, whatever. So we'll just come back to it and see if we run into the same situation. We just let it download overnight, just like he did, and see if we come to the same problem. So he has an Xbox Series X as well. So yeah. Alrighty. We are currently testing this as well and downloading Sea of Thieves. I will let you know what our findings are when it completes. Hopefully it'll be done before we actually finish. Let me see. Where is it at? It's getting better? Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, it'll be done before we finish, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so we'll come back to him. So this is group 2, so we'll just move him all the way over here, right? So we'll come back to him when that gets done. PC won't start. We already worked him. Ew. My CPU hasn't been cooling properly. Anyone know why? Wow. Wow. It is cooling the heck out of that fan. your cooler is I was gonna make a Goku joke or like a Frieza joke. Your cooler is making your fan freezer, but that's not funny. Your cooler is how did he do that? Oh, okay. So he plugged it into this part right here. Your cooler is definitely not the problem. Natural selection is. That's mean, but okay. This is a meme, so yeah. Your cooler is definitely not the problem. Natural selection is. Easy, your fan is not on RGB. No water cooling. Also delidded CPU and apply gallons of liquid metal. Oh, and install bacon. Yeah, that is what's interesting is you can tell the smear here is the smear of somebody who took it off and literally put it on a different location, like it was already on here. So yeah, that's just okay. All right then. Alrighty, this is from Benji Black. Benji Black writes, what is going on? Dude, what in the heck? Hold on. Dude, what on earth is happening right now? I'm getting so annoyed with this. I'm sorry, my screen is just not doing things for me for some reason. Like it's mad at me or something. Hold on. Okay, we're using Windows 11, so we'll use the Windows 10 one just to make sure it's not going crazy on us. Okay. That is insane. I don't even know at this point. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna continue. All right. I just bought a Series X a few months ago. I've noticed that both X buttons on both of my Series X controllers are now stuck. I've tried taking them apart and cleaning them with a Q-tip and rubbing alcohol, and it works for about 10 minutes before getting stuck again. And is anyone else dealing with this issue? And if so, what does anyone have a solution? Which button is stuck? Which button is stuck? Is it the same button for both? Do you eat and play video games at the same time? Do you eat and play video games at the same time? Sticky buttons are kind of a pain. Sticky buttons are kind of a pain, and there is very little you can do except for maybe taking it apart and possibly replacing and possibly cleaning the buttons. Try cleaning them with a Q-tip and rubbing alcohol, taking them apart and cleaning them, and it works for 10 minutes but gets stuck again. Well, here, let me do this instead. Are they sticky? That's probably the better way to say this. Are they sticky? Because that really explains a lot. Because if they're not sticky, then that would equate. It could be like, for example, he may be talking about a situation where he's pressing down on a button and it's getting caught. So that may be what he may be referring to. Are they sticky? We'll just go with that. Let's just rip off the band-aid and just ask him the question. So yeah, it depends on what he's doing. It depends on what it could be. I don't know what it can be, but I'm guessing he's eating food and playing Xbox because that's what most people do. Alrighty, keep us posted here, Benji. But there's not a whole lot you can say about that. If the buttons is stuck and continuously being stuck, and both buttons are stuck in the exact same place, then you're gonna basically be dealing with the exact same issue. So essentially, you may have some type of food or something like that that's getting into them. Huh? Is that the plastic? Or is it melted? Is that the plastic? Or is it melted? Is that the plastic or is it melted? I can't really tell what that is. Okay. Yes, the renowned AMD Pompeii 5450. I heard it was all the rage when it erupted onto the markets. Everyone was screaming about it. I hear people are dying to get one. I wouldn't Pompeii for that. Oh my goodness. Crackhead Craigslist. I get that. It just fits so well in that sub though. Tested works at extreme temperatures for short durations. Oh, okay, everybody's jokes are so much funnier than mine. Okay, I'm just gonna. So it's like when you take pictures with people and they look so much better than you in the picture, and you just want to take yourself out. That's how I feel about this comment section. It's like everybody's jokes are good, and then you get to mine, and it's like me just trying to figure out what's going on. You know what? I'm just gonna move. Tested works at extreme temperatures for short durations. Like that's so good. I'm just gonna walk away. I'm just gonna casually walk away. I cannot contribute to this comment section of jokes and laughter, so I'm just gonna walk away with my tail between my legs because everybody else's jokes are funnier. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. All right, back to Xbox. A lot of Xbox services are horrendous right now. Does anyone know if there was a specific root cause for these issues that have appeared? Could, could you be more specific? What am I supposed to say to that? Could you be more specific? Is there a particular issue that you are facing? Yeah, there's nothing I can do on that. What am I supposed to say to that? Oh, okay, cool. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Nietzsche, I remember this one. So, okay, parts of internet connection bug out randomly for long periods, but connection still works mostly. Something about cable and Spectrum, and having Spectrum come out, and we were worried about them because they were talking about Spectrum, and we didn't want them to get charged the triple charge when techs come out because he didn't know for sure where his issue was, and we didn't want him to get charged because they said, it was like a self-install or something. So if they find anything, they said your signal was good. So if there was a split, they probably bypassed it, but keep us posted. Just don't want them to charge you a trip fee in the event they find anything. Just in case you're curious, copying a comment I put above for others. Several tech visits later, and it turns out the Spectrum invested in hundreds of millions of dollars in poor quality modems and routers, according to my last tech. It's nationwide, and they are frantically trying to fix it. The tech suggested I buy my own router and modem, so I ordered them, but not without a degree of consternation. I switched carriers if I could. Yeah, cable companies are an oligopoly. So there is very little competition in a certain area. Competition in particular areas. Very little competition in areas. This is because the market share is not big enough to go around. Yeah, cable companies are an oligopoly, so there's a very little competition in areas. This is because the market share is not big enough to go around. Okay, so do I know what an oligopoly is? Yes, off the top of my head. This is I was taught this when I was a kid. And I was working for a cable company, oligopoly. Meaning and characteristics, and the market structure in which the market or industry is dominated by a small number of large sellers or products. So yeah, so it's an oligopoly, meaning that they don't compete in the same area. So if you have, Time Warner and Spectrum in one area, Time Warner is not going to be in the same area Spectrum is, and vice versa, because there's not enough market share for them to compete with each other. They would rather I take Dallas and you take, Fort Worth, or I take this and you take that. I take X and you take Y. I take Orlando and you take Miami. You see what I'm saying? They would rather do that than compete in the exact same area because it's not worth it. This is what they explained to me when I was a kid. So that's the way they kind of do things. But yes, that is an interesting one. We will keep note for others with this issue. Thanks for the update, bro. Nietzsche, my man, I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one here. You need to label DLSS FSR badly optimized game next gen. Exactly. Give it enough power so that it can fix the issue with duct tape. Give it enough power so that it can fix the issue. More power is always the answer to poor optimization. More power is always the answer to poor optimization. Exactly. That's how I feel about like games that just have bad coding around it and it's just not optimized for any system, or they're only optimized for console but they move it to PC and then it has PC problems. Yeah, that seems to be the theme of today. Corsair Avengers RGB issues. Oh yeah, our RGB fan here. So what did he say on this one here? Okay, gotcha. So what's the update on the color issue, bro? Is the issue resolved? No, man, but thanks for asking. I sent some log data to Corsair, deinstall other programs like Rocket Swarm, and I deinstall OpenRGB too. Let's see what Corsair has for further updates. Gotcha. Thanks for the info, bro. So for those of you who aren't aware, this man's issue has to do with his RGB colors. Whenever he reboots it, the colors on the DIMM slots of his memory, they disappear. So if it's showing white and he reboots it and it comes back up, it's no longer showing any color. And we've troubleshoot every single thing on this one here. So there's very few options that he has left. So the only thing that he had to do was basically just contact Corsair, which is what he's already done. We've tried everything with this guy. We've been talking with him for a long time. As you can see, 31 comments. We clowned him at first, but he really does have an issue. So he's tried different motherboards. He's tried everything. He's tried different BIOS versions. It doesn't matter. But he told Corsair about it, so we'll see what happens. Pain. Xbox Series X gamers playing Hogwarts Legacy. PlayStation 5 gamers playing Hogwarts Legacy. PC gamers playing Hogwarts Legacy. Wow. No, okay, I can't say anything funny to that because we just worked it. My 3060 is averaging 90 FPS on high and 1440. Don't know how many people have so many problems on their high-end cards. 0 issues thus far. Maybe it's an NVIDIA thing. It's a ray tracing thing as far as I can tell. The fun new technology, either no one knows how to generally optimize it, or people with an RTX 2060 are trying to pump every high detail at 4K. Okay, so okay, let's go back to that real quick. The 6900 XT, is it still sitting at AMD? Let's see. Okay, so this is Steam. Let's go back. Let's cancel that. It looks like the game is still playing. So what's the memory at? Oh, it went down. Okay. Now where you're at, memory. Okay. It's still low. So, but it's showing 15%. So, or 50%, where it was showing 66% before. So I'm guessing it has a little bit of memory reserve because I mean, it's still showing 15 gigs. It was showing 20 earlier, so I'm guessing it still has a reserved. I guess it's maybe just asleep because I'm not doing anything. Yes, I named myself Wesley Wallaby because, you know, it's it's Harry Potter, but I haven't actually tried to play. Okay, yeah, that's not me. Okay. So yeah, in windowed mode at 2K. So we'll see what happens. But for our purposes though, it hasn't actually done anything. And let's see what the memory is. Memory is still showing that. So okay, whatever. We'll leave it alone. But I'll come back to this a little bit later and I'll probably work it offline and then create a video on it. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Some games not reading. Xbox Series X. So I bought Dark Souls Trilogy, and for whatever reason, Dark Souls 1 and 2 won't even register. I remember this one. But Dark Souls 3 popped up, no problem. So Dark Souls 3 was good, but Dark Souls 1 and 2 was having problems downloading. And I think we talked about him downloading it one at a time. Did you just buy this? How about returning it and getting a replacement used copy, citing you had issues running the other two Blu-ray disc or your Xbox Series X, or is this outside the return policy? Oh, that's right. He downloaded the disc version. I bought it from an individual on Mercury, which I've bought plenty of games from Mercury with no problem. I can't return it now, but I figured I'd have my local game store test the games for me, and if they work for them, I'll just sell the copies that won't work for me and buy the other two separate. As much as I don't wanna, but to do that, it's my only option. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Did you buy it used? Are there other games you experienced this with? Did you just buy this? How about returning and getting a replacement copy, or is it outside the return policy? Gotcha. Gotcha, bro. Let us know how it works. How it works out. Let us know how it works out. We'll do that. So, you know, see exactly how that goes, and we'll just go from there. Does that work? Oh, yeah, looks like it's fine. I'm just going to leave it alone. All right. So this is from Exit Moscow, and he was saying he was getting random black screens while gaming, about to throw PC out the window. I remember this. He's replaced everything though. And you know, it happens in Modern Warfare 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Fortnite. So we've been going back and forth about this. And we also he's tried every single thing, but all he had left was his power supply. I bought an HX 1200. It will probably feel real tight in the Meshify Compact 2. We'll see if this also fixes the crashing. Sweet, bro. I love the HX 1200. I got the white cables for it and everything. Keep us posted, bro. Just black screen again while playing Modern Warfare 2 with new HX 1200. I'm at a loss right now. Okay. So let's open this all up. Okay, so this is just us talking. Are we really the only people that's talking to him? Let me make sure. Yes, we are. All right. So let's go back to his issue. It's been quite the experience. This is some of the things I've did for now. Tried multiple times, DDU, displayed, MPO. PC always had two separate PCIe cables going into the GPU. Slide GPU undervolt, slide GPU underclock. I assure you that every temperature is totally fine. Random black screen while gaming. So he'll just get a black screen and it'll force him to reboot the PC. Issue was there with my old 5600X X570 config. In that case, this does not happen with my new motherboard. The noise lasts forever and no signaling or easy debug. I now have a Z690 13600K. I also changed my RAM kit. Issue is still there. I am probably forgetting something. Literally tried everything. Tried my brother's GPU, same as mine. 6800 XT, different custom. Issue was still there. So he's already tried the GPU. He's replaced the CPU and he's replaced the motherboard because he's now on Z690 where before he was AMD. One thing that always were in my config were the Corsair RMA50X and the sleeve cables, as well as a 1TB NVMe and the monitor. But if it was the monitor, he would need to reboot, but we'll see what happens. Fun fact, we talked about the 24 pin of the 850 watt being different than the 750 watt, so he may have had the wrong one. And he said, keep us posted, and then switched out the cables last night, still had the same issue. Got you, no hurry. So yesterday I swapped out the receipt of the cable. I installed a spare fresh NVMe and fresh Windows install. Now I'm installing Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's see what happens. And he says, okay, I am RMA in the PSU and sleeve cable. System was now tested with brand new motherboard, processor, RAM, NVMe, and Windows 10 install. What PSU should I get? So we tried the PSU now. So And it happened with his brother's graphics card as well. So it may just be with that particular version of GPU that he may be having a problem with. What's about to purchase, blah, blah, blah. Sleeve extensions for Asia. What cables are you using? Okay, cool. I just purchased sleeve extensions from Asia Horse. What cables are you using? It was the Corsair modded kit. Corsair HX 1200 white cables. It's, yes, these premium individually sleeved Corsair cables. This is the one that I used. I'm not sure if it's Type 4 Gen 4. Remember the Corsair situation. I just now okay. Reply to this one. I use this one, but it may not be the same as the one you have. So keep that in mind so we don't run into the 24-pin issue. All right, we'll just let them know on that one. And then just black screen again while playing Modern Warfare 2 with new HX 1200. I'm at a loss right now. Well, does the 13900K have integrated graphics? Have integrated graphics. Called an iGPU for it. The iGPU uses the system's main memory and graphics memory. Why can't you just tell me if it has integrated graphics, yes or no? Scalability, blah, 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 blah. Control F, integrated. Max resolution. Graphics output. Processor graphics. USD graphics 770. Yes. Yes, it does. Well, what about this? Since your brother's GPU and yours is the same, remove the GPU and try with the integrated graphics of the processor to see if that prevents the black screen. It could be an issue with the driver you guys are using. Okay, well, what about this? Since your brother's GPU and yours is the same, remove the GPU and try with integrated graphics of the processor to see if that prevents the black screen. It could be an issue with the driver you guys are using. We can just go ahead and say it that way without having to explain exactly what we're talking about, because this man has already replaced every single component in his computer, so he already knows what I mean when I say that. Basically, you just remove the GPU, unhook the cables, and then plug the display and HDMI cables into the actual motherboard itself to see if it makes a difference. But he should already know that. So that's the reason why I didn't say it. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting one, but because he has a Radeon 6800 XT and so does his brother, he may have actually tried to fix the issue, but his issue may just be with the card or the version of GPU driver that he's using, and that may be causing the problem. So we'll go with that there and see exactly what he says on that. Alrighty, let's check Sea of Thieves real quick. Sea of Thieves is, what is that, 35%? 42 minutes. Okay, cool. All right, we'll come back to it. My work and play setup. Love the A4H2O after coming from an 011 dynamic. Wow, that actually is really small. It almost looked like an Xbox from afar, but that is a very, very clean setup. I like how he has to, okay, well, I used to run this. I used to have this exact same situation where I would have a computer monitor for work on the left and then a work monitor on the right. I used to do that until I got these kind of guys that can switch between Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and that typically solved my problem. so in so just a heads up, to get around the work PC slash gaming PC with 2 keyboards slash 2 mice issue, you can get keyboards and mice that have 2.4 gig and Bluetooth. Set the Bluetooth to the Mac and the 2.4 gig to the PC. Then make sure the dongles are directly in line of sight to the make sure the dongles are directly in line of sight to the peripherals. Yeah, KVM. Well, don't do KVM, just do what I just said. I.e. What is this called? Death Adder V2 Pro. I.e. Death Adder V2 Pro. Okay, so yeah, I get what you were trying to do. I had the same problem. I ended up doing the exact same thing for a very long time, but I ended up getting around it by just getting a mouse that has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capabilities. That will help you out tremendously, because having 2 keyboards and 2 mice is really annoying. Now, it could be that he really just likes using those, so that may be a thing, but we'll see. I also used to use the Mac as my other screen as well, because ironically, if you have an eGPU and you put your Mac on top of the eGPU, it becomes the exact same size as a monitor. Go figure. So so it becomes the same height, so you don't have to worry about having an arm off of something. Okay, PC crashes while gaming. I think we worked this issue before. Uninstall SolidWorks, blah 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 blah. Yeah. His issue was all of his errors were SolidWorks related. Alrighty, so I found this information on how to do a clean uninstall of SolidWorks. I would say try this to see if it resolves your issue, but it sounds as if the registry or a hanging application is still running, but its dependencies have been removed. Thank you for the tip. I guess I'll report back in the next few days if I get another crash. Noted. We appreciate it. Noted. We appreciate it. Doop. We appreciate it. We love closure. LOL. All right. Know that we appreciate it. We love closure. We do. Alrighty. So this day may end up being a little bit faster than normal, but that's okay. So yeah, the smallest RTX 4090 build with a 6.9 liter. Okay, that's impossible. First off, there's no way you can fit that in a Century 2.0. That is a Century 2.0 if anybody is not aware, but RTX 4090, that's not a 4090, bro. Like what are we talking about here? Beautiful. I'm still rocking a 1080 in my Century. Nice. I'm hoping Dr. Zaber comes out with a 3.0 model. That would be so sick. I've got a Century 2, my favorite case. Century. I loved the Century, but hated the weight. It made it a pain to travel with. Hopefully, a new version comes out that isn't the cloned version from AliExpress. LOL. AliExpress has a version of the Century. It's like a 3-slot instead of a 2-slot, but it's not the exact same as the Century. Obviously, it looks like they just cloned it. But yeah, it's this one right here. The fact that it can actually fit a 4090, that's impossible. By the way, it can't fit a 4090. This is a 2-slot GPU, or it basically only fit a 2-slot card. It can't fit a 3-slot. It's not big enough. Hoping they come out with it. Yes, I love the Century. I thought I hit a wall with the 4090, 4080. We're announced being 3-slot plus cards. Glad I can keep updating it over time. I hope I can keep this using it for many years. The only issue I have with the little rubber feet worn out. I have a friend who had a Century 2.0 as well, and he just completed a build with a 7700X and a 4070 Ti. It's still capable of holding the latest components. What you talking about, boy? What you talking about? RTX 4090. Oh, okay. So he bought a. I see what he did. Okay, this is bad. So he bought a an aftermarket cooler to basically remove the shroud of the big boy that's actually on it and put on this cooler here in order to actually keep it cool and actually put it in the Century. I don't know if that's a good idea. I feel like it'll just straight up overheat. What are your temperatures in the Century, bro? I don't know if his temperatures will be ideal. I think they'll be trash. Only issues I have. So yeah, you can put a 4070, well, a 4070 Ti 3090 XC3, but the fact that it can fit the 4070 Ti is cray cray. Rip ears unless you are utilizing the amazing efficiency of undervoting with this card. Read through a few of the comments I posted here. I've explained that the fan speeds are set at 70% and set a power limit to reduce temperature and decimal point performance. At that speed, the fans are the same audibly as a regular 2 or 3 fan GPU. No rip ears, long love ears. It depends on your setup. Oh, wow. Okay. So 4090 at 90% power limit and max 70% fan speed, GPU temps between 74 and 79 degrees Celsius under full load with core and memory overclock GDR6X temp max at 90 degrees Celsius. Micron states 95 Celsius is the ceiling for RAM temps. Very happy with this build. 10700K has a small impact on performance, and comparably, I'm with 4 to 6% of a Founders Edition 4090, 4 to 6% of a 4090 Founders Edition 12900K build. After Cyberpunk 1277 in-game benchmark with Psycho RT and no disk, I had 38 FPS average, while other systems seemingly around 40. How loud is this? Anyway, good build. I agree. Blower style cars bring back memories of the GT. Oh my God. The fact that you actually got that to work. Where did he buy it from? Have you thought about undervolting? There have been threats on 4090 as unnecessary power hog and should be undervolted. How loud is this? Blah, blah, blah. How did you get that 4090? I have a colleague in China who was able to acquire one for me, and I had it shipped to the US. From what I've seen, it's available in the Asian markets. It doesn't have a labeled manufacturer, even though the existence of this model was originally confirmed and most likely coming from Manly. No labeled manufacturer? That's so weird. What package did it come in? It's a bit weird, but it's an enterprise card designed for servers. It came in a brown box with a foam padding and a power cable. What? RTX 4090 server GPU. Images? What are you talking about? RTX 4090 server GPU, blower style cooler, 2-slot. What you talking about, boy? I don't see what you're talking about. 2060, 2080. I feel like if somebody knew this existed, it would be a big story. What you talking about? There's no way. I really feel like somebody just did this to just basically just took the original shot that came on it and put on this one. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. That's the one he had, isn't it? If we go back. Oh, no, we already did that one. Or did we already? Okay. Yeah. If we go back, that's exactly what he has. Let me make sure. It has all those lines on it. It's close. It's close. Tom's Hardware? Why would you? Why? Okay, here we go. GeForce RTX 4090 with a 2-slot blower style cooler emerges and is giving us PTSD. Architecture RTX 4090 has pushed AIB partners to create some of the largest air cooling solutions ever seen. And secondly, NVIDIA appears to have prevented partners releasing blower style RTX 3090 graphics cards to consumers during the reign of Ampere generation. While the blower GPU coolers might not be a popular choice for the average consumer or gamer, they can suit workstation users where multiple graphics cards are used to accelerate workloads. With a sub 2-slot blower cooled from form factor, users can stack multiple graphics cards in a line. Mainly designed for the RTX 4090 blower style graphics card, is quite compact, all things considered. It is said to be 268 millimeters long and 111 millimeters tall and just 38 millimeters thick. Perhaps the thinnest air-cooled design to date. For reference, standard ATX slots provide enough space for adding cards. And yeah, that is insane that it would have something like that. So, okay. Backed off the GPU or memory clocks to facilitate. It is widely thought that the previous gen RTX 3090 blower design disappeared from the market due to pressure from NVIDIA. I actually like the blower design because it dumps the heat outside the case. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with the 16-pin PCIe connectors. It's a crappy 8-pin to 16-pin. No. This is perfect. How do you buy this? Who do I give money to get this? That's a Supreme. Yes, we know that's a thing. But that's not what I don't care about that. I care about this. Zed Wang, shared by Twitter's Zed Wang. Not now. Jensen is really peed off about this. For me, view. Yes. Where do I buy the best card for Microsoft Flight Simulator from an immersive standpoint? Yeah, but how do I give you money and you give me this back? How do you get this? Oh my god. Dude, I will take a flight to Asia right now to go get that, if that's where it's at. Or Japan, or wherever he got this from. So, where did he say he got this from? It's still capable of holding. Okay. No. Where can I buy this? Can you post the link or your friend's phone number? Oh, can you post a link to where you got this, or the store your friend bought this? I am booking my flight now. Yeah, I need to know where this is, because I would so pay for this, because the ability to have a blower style cooler and a 2-slot gives you so many more options. You can put this bad boy wherever you want to. On top of that, it blows it outside the case. So you can use your Sentry, and you can use a 7950X at 65 watt TDP with a Noctua L9A AM4 and still be able to use the Sentry. Or you can use a Sliger, or you can use just about anything that you want to use at that point. At that point, I would use the Dan Case A4SFX, because even that guy is super tiny as well, and that guy has his own carrying case, Dan Case A4SFX. So I would actually go back to this guy, because you get the carrying case, plus you can actually put a cooler on the 65 watt PC, or the 65 watt downclocked 7950X or 7550X 7950X 3D. So basically you can do this kind of a situation. And then on the other side, you can actually have that blower style cooler right there. So I would love this. Oh my god, if they had this, I would trade you my Gigabyte for that one, depending on, you know, if it came with a manufacturer warranty. Let's not get crazy, but that is insane. That is insane. I would so pay for this. I would so pay for this. Just send me the bill, man. I want to buy one. I'll even pay for his. Okay. Can you post a link where you got this or sorry you bought it from? I am booking my flight now. Your friend could make a good amount of change if he sold these on eBay. Or he just told people where it was at. He said, what did he say? Let's look at it one more time. What was his name? Nonstop. We'll just put his A-N. Okay, let's look at every time he actually posted. I have a friend who has a Century 2.0 and he just completed a build with a 47. It's still capable of holding the latest components. Ah, I see. Once I'm done with the build, I dislike opening the case up again until I'm ready to upgrade, because you can actually put some ducts on there so that makes sure that the cooling isn't actually going to the wrong place. So basically, kind of like the way you have the Noctua fan ducts, you can have a fan duct on it, and that would help out tremendously. Read through a few of the comments I posted here. I've explained that the fan, no rip ears, long love, blah blah blah. I agree. Lore Star cars bring back memories. I should be able to do that in time. Thanks for the suggestion. It is full spec 4090. The only limit would be temps and therefore max boost clocks. Right. In theory, this card is louder than many, if not all, cards out there, but with a fan limit set to 70%, it isn't louder than what I had in the case before. With this case, in any popular high-end components, you will hear the fan spin up at full load, but I wouldn't classify it as loud or distracting. Yeah. The Century 2.0 is a very restrictive case. There is barely enough room for this dual slot card and some cable management for the 16-pin. My goal is to add a new 40mm Noctua fans at the top in order to exhaust air out. But from my understanding, the 4x 40mm fans in that position would only drop CPU temps by 1 or 2 degrees. Correct. And my CPU temps are fine given the Cryowick C7 I'm using. The blower doesn't benefit from the active airflow as it relies on its fan to push out the heat. He's actually right. He's absolutely right on that. How'd you get the 4090? I have a colleague in China who was able to acquire one for me, and I had it shipped to the US. From what I've seen, it's available in the Asian markets. It doesn't have a labeled manufacturer. Where are you getting the ceiling for the GDR6X? Blah blah blah. At 110 degrees degradation territory, already 95 is safe. Is throttling a main 110? Thanks for that very helpful information. Is throttling to maintain 110 instead of 95 because it won't degrade enough to cause instability at stock and warranty periods. I'm very jealous, bro. I'm so jealous. I'm still on this, and we've already been looking at it for 10 minutes. Let me see what else he says. Good question, but neither at 70% fan speed. Sure, I answered that from another post. Temp sit around, blah 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 blah. He can play Hogwarts Legacy. What PSU do you have? Don't care. Totally agree. Element. That's what we assume. You can actually fit a 3090 XC3. Of course, I know about the 3090 XC3. Haha, yeah. 3060 Ti, EVGA, blah, blah, blah. True. I'm a fan of the Velka 5, blah, blah, blah. Sorry to hear, but I have the Century 2.0. It's truly one of the smallest and slimmest console cases out there. Yes, it is. It's the heaviest, too. Yes, it does. Blah blah blah. I think so. The 4090 out there. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Come on, man. Are you gonna tell us where to get it? Come on. I'm sure a million people want to know where you bought it from, like the actual place. There's also a GPU backplate that the Century. Blah blah blah. Great ideas. I think the 750. Okay. Yes, a 750 watt can handle a 4090. That's not a problem. As long as it's gold or platinum. Not sure we'll be able to slim down 90, doubtful, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, it works very well, satisfied. Great question. I swapped out the right angle PCIe 3, blah, blah, blah. You will, and it does, just not as hard. What? Oh, God. Based in mainland China, who was able to track down one card. I got lucky because of my contracts and just lucky in general to have this card that was previously thought to be a myth or prototype. Oh, so he got lucky. Okay. Okay. I'll let it go. I'll let it go because it's just going to make me angry. Because if they came out with something like that, I'd still want it. Okay. I'll let it go. Dang, man. That's so good. This is the true successor to the 3090 XC3. But of course, they won't let you have a good thing. That's not the NVIDIA way. You better take these 4.5 slots and 3.5 pound graphics card, and you better like it, because this, oh man, this is, I'm hurt. I'm honest with y'all. I'm hurt because this right here is so good. It's so good. Oh well. All right, moving on to the next one. Woefully. Random black screen while gaming, about to throw PC out the window. We already talked about this. Oh, that's right. He responded twice. That's why I did that. Okay. Windows Update keeps logging blocked drivers. Oh yeah, this is our guy with the 2140.2.2. We ended up having his issue, the same issue that we had. And so we talked about it and we were like, okay, yeah, we can go ahead and upgrade for you. But he went Super Saiyan, he went hardcore. So he started going into the settings and started making changes because he really did not want to install that driver update. But he was trying to get around it, and we were talking back and forth. And I said, I see, and he was saying, you're getting the wrong impression. It's not just the Wi-Fi in my case. It's also my motherboard itself has a firmware that keeps downloading from Windows Update. But every time he does, it slows down and it's like a buggy prototype. So he's trying to not install it, or trying to prevent it from trying to install, or even letting him know about it. I see. Quick question on the workaround. What happens if you just disable Windows Update? Does this solve the issue as the program is not running? This is by disabling it from service.msc Windows Update. It does in fact, it fights back and changes the startup mode for the service with a backdoor mechanism. I messed around some more and figured out more details why it stops generating logs when datastore.edb is removed. When you remove that file, it cuts off access to a timer mechanism that seems similar to setting a scheduled task. It only needs interrupted once for it to stop the loop. In addition, the datastore EDB is rebuilt, but the timer still does not restart unless you do a full reboot. PC went to sleep and I checked if it started up the log spam, however, didn't, oddly, and the file had been rebuilt. So there are a few ways to attack this issue. Just need to see what the least destructive method is. I think going after the timers may allow updates to still work without the log grinding, but I need more info on how it works still. Also, I suspect that it's the timer itself adding the event trace log, since there are no related errors showing up. Okay, so what he just said was he is trying to make it so that it doesn't inform him that he's missing an update in his event viewer, and it doesn't generate any alerts. However, he's still able to use Windows Update. That's what he's trying to say. Well, there's not a whole lot I can add to this. He's way further than me on this. So, gotcha, bro. Keep us posted, and keep us posted. Hope it works well for you. There's nothing more we can say on this one. This guy's way too far gone. He's talking about data store EDB and making changes. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just that there's not a whole lot that I can add to this conversation anymore. He's way further than us. We just had a recreate for him just in case he needed it. But he's already looking at the data store.edb file. He's trying to truly figure out a way to make it so that it doesn't warn him or alert him or even show up as logs in the event viewer, yet it still allows him to install Windows updates. So we'll let him do his thing. He's definitely more qualified at this point than any of us. So we'll just go ahead and leave it to him. Alrighty. No one else has this issue, by the way. This is just him. So, I think everybody else just kind of installed the drivers and called it a day. But we'll leave it alone. So tech surgeon, man, I guess continue your surgery. Alrighty. So this is from a Note Hate Plusty. How do I fix this? Yeah, we had somebody that was actually on the chat and he read this for us and told us what was going on here. We had someone translate this for us. You may also have issues with network connectivity. We would suggest a reboot to see if that helps resolve the issue. Keep us posted. We will be monitoring the Xbox issues. I have plenty of spare space. I added a 1 terabyte SSD. Thanks for the help. Okay, so you are still having the issue. If so, connect the Xbox wire to your router. See if it lets you download a copy of Call of Duty. My Xbox is always connected to the internet. I think I might have a solution right now. I deleted the entire game and I'm going to try to re-download it, seeing it as then the pack did appear. However, since my internet volume is limited, it is going to take a while until I can confirm this resolve. Gotcha. Keep us posted. I think that limitation on this internet is what's causing the problem. That's what I really think. But I don't want to say that because I'm sure he knows how to deal with the whole volume situation, but I think that's what may have happened. It was trying to download it, but then it hit the volume and that triggered the error. His ISP stopped him, essentially, is what I'm saying. Ooh, 3.5 liter steel PC that weighs 3.27 pounds with all gear. That's actually really good. And on top of that, he has the RTX A2000. As the GPU down here at the bottom, as you can see, is directly above the power supply shroud. And that little fan ventilation is for the fan cooler for the Flex PSU. That is a nice looking build. It's this build. Let's see. This versus this is essentially this build, and the front. Oh, I'm sorry. The front this way. So it's basically the same as this build here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's the same as that build there. Instead of angled slots, it's horizontal, which is still good. I like it. I like it a whole lot. I like it so much that I want one. My PC assembly, after laser cutting 1.5 millimeter and 1 millimeter steel, there are a couple of points that need to be corrected, but it doesn't seem too bad. I threw money at the screen, but nothing happened. Could you explain why that is? There we go. There we go. I knew I'd get one good joke in. I threw money at the screen, but nothing happened. Can you explain why that is? Exactly. Exactly. Because right here, man, this right here is a nice little build. Hey, I know that board. I hate that board, but I know that board. The Asus Strix, yes. Unreal. What are your case dimensions? So 205 by 235 by 76 this build, but I had to enlarge the model because the machine couldn't bend my first build by 3.4. Have you tried running laser across the sheet metal to thin out the metal to make it easier to bend? Wow. Yeah, I would so want this. The fact that it can fit that. Now, here's the thing, it's a little tight in there, so that's a thing, but outside of that, that's still pretty sweet. And the fact that it can actually hold one SSD there, but he would have to have some type of a case that kind of bows out a little bit because that SSD looks like it's coming outside of the case, but neither here nor there. Still pretty dope build. You can even take the SSDs off for some people. Most people just use NVMe and call it a day. Okay, Bowser, I remember you. Games crashing for no discernible reason. And he was talking about Dark and Darker and Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, well, we learned a whole lot about Hogwarts Legacy. So, but it wasn't just Hogwarts that he was having a problem with. So, oh, ow, 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 ow. There we go. Okay, so he wasn't just having an issue with Hogwarts Legacy. It was multiple games. So which game did we stay with here? Okay, were you able to update the BIOS and on this? So we had him update the BIOS and reseed the GPU. Still had the problem. Windows Defender Firewall, antivirus firewall software, but it still doesn't help. And yeah, many games still work, but it's aggravating that these few crash considering that I'd really like to play them. Well, we just learned a few things about Hogwarts Legacy. Real quick. Well, we just learned a few things about Hogwarts Legacy. Real quick, how much memory do you have? It appears that Hogwarts Legacy eats memory in the tune of 8 to 20 gigs depending on your settings or on your resolution and settings. So yeah, so it may be that he doesn't have enough memory. If he's only running like 8 gigs or 16 gigs, he may be having a problem. And that would explain why he's getting kicked out of the games. Some of these games that are poorly optimized may be actually causing this problem. Now, of course, this right here that he showed the error on was actually Dungeon Crawler, but he did mention Hogwarts Legacy, so we'll mention Hogwarts Legacy's fix and kind of go from there and see if that actually helps him with the situation here. Has he talking to anybody else? He's talking to a lot of people. Let's see. Or not. Okay, maybe he's just talking to us. Okay, well, if it's only going to show us that, then we'll let it go. All right, so yeah, we'll just let it go and see exactly what happens here. But that Hogwarts Legacy issue, we're really going to have to investigate. Let's try the Xbox real quick just to make sure it finished. No, it did not. Where is it at? Come on, controller. You alive? Any day now? What's going on? Why isn't it giving me what? Are we having this issue? Like, what's going on? It's The console will automatically go into power settings. Why? This console, go to power mode settings for options. What? 1 minute ago. What are you doing? What's going on? Alrighty. Why? I don't know what's happening here. Hold on. Does it really hate Sea of Thieves that much? You'll see upcoming notifications, blah, blah, blah. Yo, yo, what is going on? I think my PC went to sleep. Hold on. I don't want to stop it. It's at 84%. Is it increasing? Well, it's still running, so we'll let it run. I can barely see it, but it looks like it is running. But for some reason, it's not. My controller isn't doing anything, even though it should, which is weird. But we'll come back to it. This console will automatically sleep in 5 minutes. Okay, well, that's weird. Why? Why? What is... I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. This is the right controller. I'm not using a wrong controller or anything. It's just, for some reason, I don't want to stop it though, so we'll just let it... Hopefully it'll finish. When your Xbox, you will see an upcoming notifications. Use bump Y to open. That's wild, bro. That's so wild. Okay. Well, that's new. I've never seen it do that before. And I know it's not the Elite controller. I've never used an Elite controller on this guy. So I have both controllers on, but it's not picking either one of them up. It keeps saying this, but it was 3 minutes ago. It's like the computer's like it's asleep, but it's actually still installing the game. So I can see that it's installing the game. We'll just come back to it a little bit later just to see if it, once it does install the game, then we'll press a power button or something. I'm afraid of pressing it because I don't want it to disconnect me while downloading the game. So we'll just come back to it and see what happens. See if we actually did break it like he was, like this guy, Sea of Thieves guy. And we'll see. Try to install it even though I was installing it the night before. This only happens in Sea of Thieves. I checked it in the morning, it's just gone. But Sea of Thieves starts installing, and when I checked in the morning, it was gone. Okay, well, ours went to sleep, and now our Xbox controller isn't working. So maybe there is something with that. I guess we'll see. We'll see, I guess. All right, where were we? We saw this. It was awesome. Okay, we just answered him. Okay, cool. So we just finished group 5. Let's finish group 6, and then we'll come back to this issue. All right, so Xbox Select folder infinite load. Okay, I remember this. We were talking about this folder issue. He even gave us the application to download, so we went ahead and downloaded it. And whenever we opened up the application, we noticed that it was allowing us to see our folders, but he couldn't see his. And so we've been going back and forth with it. And I said, well, I mentioned it earlier, but have you tried uninstalling the program and reinstalling it? And have you tried installing the program on your external drive? Try both to see if that makes a difference. And yes, it is weird. One generally yes, it is a weird one. Generally means some type of corruption, but we can try loading the application from the external drive to see if that helps. Thanks. I've tried installing on the external and still the issue occurs. I like to avoid a factory reset, but do you think there's anything else worth trying? Cheers. Got it working in the end. Ended up doing the factory reset, but kept my games, apps, and backed up my settings. Thanks for your help on this one. Appreciate it. Woohoo! Woohoo! Glad to be of assistance. Yell if you have any other issues. We host a channel where we help others fix issues just like this. Okay, cool. So we got a W. Hey, Congratulations. I really need to put on the sounds for like W's and stuff. And so like it changes the lighting and stuff like that whenever we actually get wins or assist trophies. Okay, recent update changed the back button. Okay, what? So I spent like an hour searching on this on Google but found no results. Before when I pressed and held the back button, a little menu would pop up. Oh, I remember this. This is a person with the Brave browser, and when they basically, so essentially, like for example, you know, like this back button up here. If they right click on it, it will show you the other tabs that you open. Mine is an incognito, so it doesn't show that. But if you right click on it, it will tell you all the other tabs that you currently had open, so you can click to one that's further back instead of having to press the back button like 80 times. So we just tested this. So I just tested this on my Android and it appears Google Chrome works fine. Go ahead and download that guy instead to see if you get your features back. Be aware the back button is actually at the bottom, not the top. Yeah, no, I tried that everywhere and it's everything. Not Chrome, not Brave, not Samsung Internet, nothing works. Oh, well, if that's the case, if that's the case, then we are talking more so about your memory. What happens if you update the firmware version? Have you tried? I can someone help me turn this back on, please, or recommend change press and hold back feature, and I like to change it back. Oh, okay. So the Android update changed the press and hold back feature, and I'd like to change it back. What version are you on? What version are you on? I want to upgrade to it too to see if I lose the feature. If that's the case, then we are talking more so about your memory. What happens if you memory or software? What happens if you update the firmware version again? Update the firmware version again. Are there any new updates? What version are you on? I want to upgrade to it too to see if I lose the feature. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and try to recreate it because ours doesn't have this problem, but we're probably not on the same version this person is. So let this person tell us what version we're on, what version they're on. We'll upgrade to that version to see if it makes a difference and see if we lose the feature as well. Ooh, a closer look at the Apollo S 2.0. Okay. Okay.
Today we'll be taking a look at a unique ITX case from Mac Pro called the Apollo S 2.0. I want to thank the developer for sending it over to share with you guys.
That's a big case.
So I'll leave you with a build through and be back later in the video.
Okay, so it's meant to look like the Mac, but its thermals are pretty good, but that's a little, it's okay. I mean, it's nice, but it's very big. It looks like an eGPU, and I mean, obviously it looks like a Mac, but it really looks like an eGPU. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. The fact that it can fit a 240 millimeter radiator at the top is pretty sweet, and the fact that it has the handles is really nice as well. And then on top of that, it looks like it can fit a really nice size graphics card. So just to add, you know, some extra portability to it, it's pretty nice, you know. And it appears that it is also 3-slot, so it's a 3-slot. It can hold up to a 3-slot card. So hardware is a 30 something Ti Founders Edition. So it appears that it can hit some really nice cards in here. It's just shy of $500 for atrocious ventilation and completely cosmetic front air vents. It's silly to see the aesthetics of a ventilation feature take it over without the function. This reminds me of the cases with solid panels behind their huge RGB fans. Go back to the picture. Okay, yes, it's not enough cooling. I get that because the card is actually here. So, but I thought it was actually getting some more cooling from the front. Oh no, that's just mesh, but there's no fans there, it appears. Let's see. When he was doing the bit arm. Oh, I see. So it has that ventilation, but it's just for show. There's no fans there to provide extra cooling. That's what you get for skipping. I wish you can turn this upside down so it can actually get a little bit more airflow from the holes in it. But yeah, that's not good. My bad. I was looking at it and I was like, this is I saw the holes and I thought it was kind of iffy, but I thought it was getting some ventilation from the front, but it appears that it's not. So nix that. All right, so guys, I think I overclocked too high. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, I already saw this one. Yeah, you definitely set it on fire. You exploded. See, your problem is not enough thermal paste. That was actually a really good joke. I actually was shown this at work. I work for an electronics recycling company, and this was dropped off with nothing else. I asked where the rest of the computer was, but there wasn't one. LOL. Wasn't a person either. He's on the afterlife at this point. Just had to have been a PC that either caught fire or a building burned down, maybe. Yes, that's exactly what that is. Yeah, see, you need a little bit more thermal paste on that, bro. That was actually a really good joke. Good job, Anthony. You did a good job there. GPU making a grind snoring sound. I remember this one. He actually came back on YouTube and he said thank you. In which we owe ourselves a W. Don't sound too serious. What could I do to try to reduce the sound, or is it something I have to deal with? Something you have to deal with. Nah, it's not too serious. Nah, it's not okay, so this person is having a grinding sound or making a snoring sound from his GPU, but we didn't know exactly what he was referring to. At first we thought it was cold wine, and I was like, okay, well, I have the same problem with my 6900 XT. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. In other words, I will show you the sound that I have when my 6900 XT spins up whenever it starts playing games, and we can compare it to your sound. But his sound is totally different. This is his sound. His sound is grinding, which I ended up playing back, but it's essentially a grinding sound. And so when we look through this, let me make sure I turn that off. Background music, media source. Yeah, so I added it as a media source and then I muted it. Okay, cool. I don't want to play it because I don't know for sure if that's the right one. Or maybe it is. Let me see. Okay, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. Oh, maybe we can. Hold on. Media source. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I thought I labeled it, but I probably didn't. Windows Capture 2. Let me see. No, that's not it. Okay. So there's so many different ones I can switch between, and apparently I don't have the right one, so I'll just leave it alone. But yeah, essentially his sound is a grinding sound. And so, well, obviously your PC has possessed that sound is definitely different than the sound of cold wine, but it's not cables hitting the GPU either, so it's a possessed cold wine, LOL. But seriously, that's actually the sound of ball bearings grinding against each other. We were stumped by the sound for a second there, but then I remembered my yo-yo days, and it's the exact sound of ball bearings grinding. Ha, what an issue. That was fun. Doesn't sound too serious. Nah, it's not too serious. So it goes like, but that sound is the sound of the ball bearings grinding. And I even had to look up if there were ball bearings on a fan, and it appears that there was. So yeah, he has the exact same issue I had with my yo-yo when I was 12. Nah, it's not too bad. That yo-yo lasted several years after it started making that sound, so more than likely it is fine. And yeah, you could probably ask for a RMA with the manufacturer. But if it's outside of warranty, there is little that can be done. Yeah, I was actually really excited that we figured this one out, because that sound was cray cray, and I didn't realize that I think we had actually gone to like 2 or 3 more issues later, and then came back to it and saw that well, then came back to it once we realized it was actually the sound of a yo-yo. So like whenever you have a yo-yo or whatever and you're using it all the time, you'll get to a point where you'll start to hear a sound that doesn't sound like the yo-yo. It'll be like "Grrr," like it'll like it's mad at you or it's like snoring or something. Exactly what he's saying, the grinding snoring sound. But that's just the ball bearings itself coming into contact with each other because there's not enough lubricant to make it so that it can spin properly. So that's what that is. It basically means your fan may be on the verge of going out, or it may last years. No one knows. So yeah, if it's an RMA, I would go ahead and RMA it, but it's not that serious of an issue. Okay, what can I do? This is the last one. Okay, you have high packet loss. Your packet loss is 100%. This is high and may be affecting network quality. Okay, well, it appears you have some issues with your network connection. Are you at a hotel? Some hotels block the internet for gaming type applications to prevent users from downloading gigantic games and eating up their bandwidth. TH. What appears you have some issues with network connection. If not, plug your Xbox in directly to see if it makes a difference. All right, so that's what I would say on that one. He has a lot of people that are asking a question. Reboot your router, blah, 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 call your ISP. I went a different way because he had so many people already making comments. So you'll notice that my troubleshooting methodologies change depending on how many comments he has, because most people will eventually guess the most obvious options: resetting router, resetting internet service provider, hooking it up wire, things of that nature. So I just wanted to add the whole hotel situation thing just to make sure, just to give him another option or idea to look at, because most people are going to say the normal stuff: resetting console, blah, 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 blah. So, Sea of Thieves. Let's go ahead and do this one here. Let's look at this a little bit more now that we have some time. Okay, so it actually did turn itself off. Okay, and now the Xbox controller does work with the Xbox. Hold X to open. Okay, so ours was actually able to download and start. However, my Xbox controller still doesn't work with the actual Xbox, even though it turned it on. Is it dead? Here, let me find a charger. It's probably dead. No, it's not dead. It just doesn't work. But it was able to turn it on, so... But it doesn't change the fact that the Sea of Thieves was actually... Okay, so let me turn it off. Let me turn this off. Oh, God. It's, okay, there it goes. It was blinking instead of actually showing solid. Let me try to turn it back on, see what happens. Ba, 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 ba. I feel like they are no longer paired. Yeah, they're no longer paired. I think it's actually paired to something else, it appears. Oh, God, no. Oh, here it is. There it is. Okay. What a pain in the butt. Okay, so yeah, it lost connectivity, but I don't think it did anything to the actual game itself. So if we go back... B? Home. Okay. So my games and apps. Okay, yeah, no, it downloaded. Okay. No. I don't want to play. Home. Okay, so it appears that ours is downloaded. So let's go back to that issue here. here. I have Game Pass Ultimate on my Xbox Series X, and I had Sea of Thieves installed a while back, but uninstalled it. I've been trying to install it again for the past almost year and a half, and it won't install. All Game Pass games I try to install do it with no problem, but Sea of Thieves starts installing, and when I check back in the morning, it's just gone. It's like I didn't even try to install it, even though I was installing it the night before. Well, let's explain to him what we did. Edit. Okay, so we were downloading, and at around 70 or what happened? Sorry. There it is. Around 75%. We were downloading at around 75%. The Xbox Series X no longer recognize the controller and went into sleep mode. We checked back on it later as we were doing a 2-hour live stream and had to reboot the Xbox and resync the controller. However, after the reboot, the game was loaded to our hard drive. So for this one, if it's failing to install, then go ahead and start the install at around 60% or so. Just check on it and make sure the console does not go to sleep. I think what may be happening with him, and the reason why it's kicking it out, is the computer, his is actually shutting down and it's not picking back up where it left off. So maybe he may have some issues with his Xbox, but we'll go with this one here. We'll basically make sure that it stays on and see what happens if he keeps monitoring it. And when it gets to 99%, see what happens. So for this one, if it's failing to install, then go ahead and start the install at around start the install and at around 60% or so. Just check on it to make sure the console doesn't go to sleep. Also, does it give you the option to reinstall it? In other words, there may be a location that he may be not aware of. Like, for example, he may have had an external drive set up and he may have it installed on the external drive. But if that's the case, then it won't give you the option to reinstall it. Does it give you the option to reinstall? 60% is more than half, which means that if he just goes and checks on it once, it shouldn't go back to sleep. So as long as he checks it around 60%, it should stay up for the remainder of the download. Well, okay, well that's presumptuous of me. Let me actually say this then. Oh god, comment save successfully. I didn't mean to hit unsave, I meant to hit edit. So for this one, if it's failing to install, then go ahead and start the install, and at around 60% or so, just check on it to make sure that it did not go to sleep and be around when it's in the 90s to ensure it finishes. Okay, so we'll try that to let it get to the 90s to make sure, because I'm thinking that his computer or his Xbox is just shutting off and then it comes back on and it doesn't have the download anymore, or it's having troubles trying to install it, meaning that its hard drive may be full. Oh, we probably should ask him that as well. Also, does it give you the option to reinstall? How much hard drive space do you have? How much hard drive space do you have available? Save edits. All right, there we go. So now we can Okay. So yeah, now we can go ahead and go from there. Let's see what he says. That's a lot of information, but I think we're okay on here. Let's see what happens here. He'll probably let us know tomorrow. So we'll just pick back up with him tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and call it today. We'll call it a little bit early today. Got a few things I need to get taken care of, but that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll pick up with these guys tomorrow. And if you like this video, go on the like button. If you really like it, go to subscribe. I love you either way. Take care, all the best, and bye. I'll start working on this Hogwarts. Oh my God, Hogwarts Legacy video. I'll start working on that here in a little bit so that we can let other people know. That way, they'll be aware of some